Hello and welcome to Ladue Schools Today. I'm your host, Don Goebel. Today on the show, we will discuss the Board of Education and what their role is in managing a school district. We have with us our board's current president, who is also a former teacher here at our high school, Mr. Jeff Koplow, and the superintendent of Ladue Schools, Dr. Donna Jenke. And welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back, Dr. Jenke.
It's great to be here.
Always great to have a first-time guest with you, Jeff. So welcome to our studio here this afternoon. Let's just begin a little bit before we move forward by pulling back. And we're going to talk about a Board of Education and our current Board of Education and an election coming up. But Jeff, why don't we start with you and how and who decides how a Board of Education is structured and what they do?
Well, essentially, a Board of Education is or a school district actually, is a political subdivision of the state of Missouri. So our basic control is through the General Assembly and the laws of the state. We determine pretty much our own procedures, but these are tempered very much by procedures established by the Missouri School Board Association and also by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Mm-hmm. And we are charged basically with guaranteeing that every student is learning every day when school is in session. That's our basic charge.
Okay. So as a part of that charge, then what would be some of the specific duties now that you personally have taken place in and the board in general also does?
Well, we are the policy-making body of the district, and perhaps these policies are proposed to us by our administrative staff. I mean, certainly any given Board of Education, most of what we get is inherited, from previous boards. Periodically, they are reviewed by the board, by various committees, and particularly by our administrators. And if there are needs to change, adapting to a new decade, a new century, these are all done. So that's part. Also, our responsibility is fiscal. We are charged with spending taxpayer dollars. And right now we are receiving approximately $55 million a year from the Ladue taxpayers. That's a hefty chunk of change. And we are responsible for demonstrating to our taxpayers that we are not wasting this money, that what is being spent to provide the highest quality education possible to our students, their children.
Right, absolutely. And Dr. Jenke, so the way the structure unfolds is you are the sole employee
I am.
Of the Board of Education, but the manager of the rest of our district and all of our schools. So how does that work in a practical day-to-day sense?
Right. Well, I work very closely with the Board of Education, with my administrators, and with our staff members to make sure that I provide the board with as much information as possible so that they can effectively lead our school district. We have 2 open session meetings each month. One is a business meeting and one is a workshop. At those meetings, we're able to provide information to the board so that they can make policy decisions and practical decisions for us as well. The business meetings are more formal, and the workshop meetings give us an opportunity to talk about topics in depth. And that's been a great addition over the last couple of years to our board meetings. But actually, myself and my administration and my staff all practically apply the policies and practices that our board members approve.
Okay, let's go back to one thing you just mentioned. There's a couple different forms of meetings, but an open session. Can you tell me exactly what the open session means?
Sure, that's just the state's verbiage for our official meetings that we hold with the Board of Education. And basically it means that they are public meetings, they are advertised, and our public has an opportunity to come and provide a comment as well.
Right. Jeff, what about other types of meetings? Are there meetings that are not then open to the public that you are involved with?
Well, there are closed sessions which, under the Sunshine Law, are really pretty strictly regulated. Okay. In a sense, we first adhere to anything that could violate the privacy of any of our employees. So all personnel issues are discussed in closed session. If anybody were to bring up a personnel issue in open meeting, as in a citizen talking during the meeting, then I would have to rule them out of order and say that we could not talk about personnel. Also, other negotiation matters like real estate issues and certain policy changes are discussed first in closed session so that they don't harm our negotiating position in anything, and reveal information that somebody should not have that is detrimental to the interests of the district.
Right. Jeff, there are probably different perceptions out there of what a Board of Education is, or what are some of the most common misconceptions of what the Board of Education is, or the folks that make it up?
Well, I think first, as Dr. Janke mentioned before, and you brought up, our sole employee, they might think you work for us. No, you don't. You work for Dr. Janke. We have just that one employee. So that one's out there. Also the idea that we are involved in the day-to-day operation of the school district. We are told, because anybody elected to a school board for the first time has to take 16 hours of state-mandated training. And something that's drummed into us practically every hour, we are not micromanagers. If we start trying to micromanage the district, we're going to get ourselves in trouble along with the district. We employ Dr. Janke because we believe that she is the best person to manage this district and move in the right direction. So the idea that any one of us would be breathing down her neck on a daily basis or an hourly basis, that's absurd. That's not what we do. Now, we all communicate. Dr. Janke mentioned her relationship with the board. She is very open in her communication, and she told us that from the beginning, that there weren't going to be secrets, that we were going to be brought in on anything that she felt we needed to know. And she's been true to her word.
That's excellent. All right, that's good. We can clear it up some of those misperceptions. So let's move a little bit forward here in that we have an upcoming election, and we have some new members who are going to be running. Dr. Janke, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We have 6 open seats on the board with, 6 candidates running for 3 open seats on the board.
Okay.
One of those candidates is an incumbent, and 5 are running for either running for the first time or have never served on a school board before.
Okay.
So it's going to be exciting.
So how does the community decide, and where can we get information between now and Election Day?
All the candidates were asked to provide information to our communications department so that it could be published in our bulletins, published on the web. March 3rd is a Meet the Candidate night that the League of Women Voters sponsors, where the candidates come and field questions that are posed by the public. Candidates may hold coffees at various locations where people get invited. Somebody in their home would have a coffee, and so the candidates might attend school functions, like showing up at a basketball game or at a parent association. There's nothing that says they can't do that and introduce themselves.
Sure. So a little campaigning. Well, we actually had the chance to talk with some of the Board of Education candidates here in our studio. We asked them why they decided to run for the Board of Education, and here is what they had to say.
Hi, I'm Steve Spratt. I'm running for Ladue School Board. I'm committed to the success of the children of this district. I'm also committed to the appreciation and preservation of our property values. I'm running for all residents of this district, not just parents of children of the district. Serving as a school board member is a privilege, and I believe I'm uniquely qualified to serve in this privilege. Thank you.
I'm Andy Bressler, and I'm running for a second term on the Ladue School Board. During the last 3 years, we've accomplished a lot. Passed Proposition 1, implemented a new policy that will significantly reduce class size, gotten our fiscal house in order, moving from a $2 million budget deficit to a $3 million surplus, and made meaningful changes in our administrative team, including appointing Dr. Janke as our superintendent. I'm running for a second term because I think we've established a good momentum, and I'd like to have the opportunity to continue to help us to move forward.
My name is Carolyn Yeager, and I'm running for the Ladue School Board because it's a natural extension of my 20 years of leadership and service to the district. My financial education, work experience, commitment, and involvement give me an understanding and a better perspective of where we've been and where we're going, to be a successful part of setting our vision, strategic plan, and policies. I'm committed to ensure that every student has the opportunity to succeed every step along the way, to give classroom settings that provide teachers and students the resources and tools that they need to achieve academic excellence now and after graduation, to improve communication to engage our entire community with an eye on fiscal responsibility. You need someone that you can respect and respects you back, someone who will work for you, address problems, and adopt new ideas. Check out my website for more details at carolyn4ladue.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sheldon Johnson, and I'm running for the Ladue School Board. I'm doing this to give back to the community and the school district that has educated my two daughters, starting at the Early Childhood Center to their current levels in the 4th grade and the 5th grade center. I also look to assist the public education system that already provides an excellent learning environment and to enhance the experience by supporting our superintendent, Dr. Janke. I believe my business background in the college fundraising field, banking and finance, and in the commercial real estate development business would be very good resources for the board. I'm a good listener, and I look to learn and complement the existing school board to improve the student learning experience and maximize our strong financial foundation.
Hi, my name is Keisha Lee, and I'm running for the Ladue Board of Education. I am a parent of 2 students within the district, and I have a vested interest in their achievement as well as achievement for all students within the district. I would also like to put forth my professional, educational, and leadership experience towards the advancement of the Ladue Board of Education, as well as in supporting our current superintendent and her initiatives. I also live within the community and want to see the community continue to grow, and that community can only continue to do so if the Ladue School District continues to be effective and achieve at high levels.
So our community has a tough choice to make here in the next few weeks, but it's wonderful to have as many eager people put their name out there and be willing to serve as a part of that Board of Education. So is there anything else either one of you would like to add as it relates to the upcoming election or the responsibilities of those who may take over those open positions?
I don't think many people know the extensive work our board members do as volunteers for our school district. It's a lot of time, a lot of energy. They not only serve, every other week. Coming to our board members well prepared. There's a lot of reading that goes on before they ever come to the meeting so that they're well prepared to have a very thoughtful discussion and make some difficult decisions and some important decisions for our district at the meetings. But they serve on district committees. They serve as a liaison to the special school district and our cooperating school district. Each of our board members is assigned a school that they're a liaison to, and so they're involved in activities and events at those schools as well. It's a lot of volunteer hours, very important volunteer hours, and we are very fortunate to have board members that put a lot of time and energy into their work and take their job very seriously.
Jeff, do you have any?
I think Dr. Janke has said it all. Absolutely.
How's the last year been for you?
It's been interesting, and lots of times it's fun. It's great to go to holiday programs at an elementary school and watch these kids having a good time performing. Those
Right.
are really great things.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your service, and thank you both for joining us today to fill us in. And I know there'll be more to talk about as Election Day rolls around.
Absolutely.
All right. And thank you for watching Ladue Schools today. We will return next month with more important news and information from around the Ladue School community. Until then, I'm Don Goebel. Good night.